right, Personnel Committee of the City of Green Bay on November 26th. We'll start with roll call. Alder Hinkfuss,
Here.
Alder Grant,
Here.
Alder Johnson is excused, and I'm here also. I'll entertain a motion on the agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. I'll entertain a motion on the minutes.
Move to
Oh,
approve.
sorry. Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. On to regular business, for consideration with possible action on the request to fill the following positions and all subsequent vacancies resulting from internal transfers. If
Can I
nobody...
motion to suspend the rules?
Yep, so moved.
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion to take
How about the-
Motion.
all items as one?
One.
Mhm.
All right. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that passes. Item 2, for consideration with possible action to reclassify the neighborhood development specialist and community development specialist positions. Staff?
So we do have in the packet, I think, a memo describing the changes and then also the job descriptions that have been changed. One reason, so typically we bring the reclassifications to the budget, but these positions don't impact the budget, I believe, right?
Correct.
Yep, so that's why we're bringing them after the fact, just give us more time to redo the job descriptions and also get our consultant to weigh in on the placement and pay grade. So if there's any specific questions about the changes, we can answer them, but there is no budget impact for 2025.
Anybody?
So we just reclassified them, but the salary and everything is basically the same?
So I believe occurred is one changed, right? One went down to H and one
They
went
reversed
up to I.
themselves.
So it ends up being a wash. And that's based on the responsibilities of the positions.
So we have a staff person who's retiring, who's been in the position for
Yeah.
literally 30 years. So the position has more for that time. So we took that job description and we changed it to where it should be for the grant administration. And then we have another position who's doing oversight now, our neighborhood development specialist of other staff within the department, and also focusing on affordable housing development, and had those both reviewed. So one was paid higher than the other, and then they just reversed themselves. So kind of washes, and they're funded under block grant and home funding, so it's not on the levy at all.
All right.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes. That leaves us with the fire chief. Do we want to go into closed session?
We don't have to.
I mean,
Isn't it
I thought it was
We
all
have to.
settled.
Yeah, I
so-
did.
Yep, so the reason why it's all in open session right now is so it's on the books in open session, the changes that we're making. That's why.
Is there any reason to go into closed session?
No.
Are you guys, any questions for staff?
No, it's basically the final agreement that we approved a couple weeks ago, and then you guys just put it into writing, correct?
Yep, that's correct. And there's a few like typos and grammatical errors that will change for Tuesday, but other than that, the substance is
All right.
correct.
And so both sides have agreed to this? Boom. All
Yeah,
right.
so we're entering a TA, we're recommending approval, I know we approved it in closed session last time. So now, council would approve it, next week, and then the union has to ratify it as well. So that's the
All right.
next step.
I have no need to go into closed
Me
session.
neither.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, consideration of possible action to amend the City of Green Bay Personnel Policy, Chapter 9 regarding hours of work, personal leave, and holidays. So we've been down this road once or twice before, I'm trying to remember. Once, okay. And that was late summer.
In August, yep.
Okay. And we said we'd come back and take a look at it just before we got into December.
Yep, that's correct.
All right. Does anyone, and I know from seeing some emails, you've been in discussion with some alders and that. Does anyone have any questions for staff? I mean, I understand what's going on. I understand why we're doing it. It's not something, when I started out working that, you know, but as we have to adapt. And I think if we can make work environment easier for people to do their job, that makes them happier, making them happy. I think they do a better job, and we keep the staff around, and we're not scrambling, losing staff all the time, so.
Yes, a couple things I can jump in with is that we do have 24/7 services with our website and with the GB services. That's kind of a big reason why we can make that shift right now. I know when I started the city, to think we can make the shift to longer days, Monday through Thursday, and then a half-day Friday, really wouldn't have been possible without the updates to our website. And then we've talked a lot about Elder Hinkfist. Not every employee, based on like their personal circumstances, is going to be able to have this schedule. So we're really going to have to train our supervisors and give, and educate our employees that if they want to work from 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday, they're able to, and just kind of figure out to make sure that, they should have plenty of work to do Friday afternoon, even though we're close to the public. And one thing that's good too is that our fire department is here on the 4th floor. So you won't be by yourself in the building, just working alone. So that's another good aspect of it right now.
Do we have the security people downstairs?
We do right now, and I'll have to reach out to them. I anticipate that they will not be here after 11:30 when we close.
On Fridays?
Yep, on Fridays.
Okay, so as long as staff is aware of that also.
Yep.
So they would work the same hours? They'd be here at 7:30,
The
Monday through Thursday?
Yep.
Their hours would match.
Yes. And maybe one thing I can jump to as well is the holiday schedule. There's a proposal for that as well, because if we go to the schedule, it will impact the holidays. So what we proposed, I think the general rule will be is if you have a schedule that's your regular schedule and it's approved by the department and approved by HR, you will get the number of hours you work per day as your holiday pay. So what I mean by that is if you work at City Hall and you have 9 hours Monday through Thursday, for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Memorial Day, July 4th, it lands on Monday, and Labor Day, you'll get 9 hours if it lands Monday through Thursday. And so there's some holidays that are always on a Monday, you'll get 9 hours. For July 4th, which is next year on a Friday, we would change the schedule from 8 to 4:30, Monday through Thursday, and then you'd get 8 hours of holiday pay on Friday. And it gets really in the weeds. I know there's so many different ways you could do this.
No, but those are the details that
Yeah.
are really important.
So then for Thanksgiving, instead of, we'll have again, Monday through Wednesday, it'll be 8 to 4:30, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 hours Thanksgiving holiday pay, 8 hours Friday for the day after Thanksgiving. Then for Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day, those again will change to 8 to 4:30 for those weeks and 8-hour holiday pays for that. So it's trying to have minimal disruption and also being a benefit to employees, like in those summer months when it falls Monday through Thursday, you get 9 hours of holiday pay.
And I agree with that, but then why wouldn't you do the same thing for the 4th of July that falls on a Friday for anybody that works
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours? I mean, that they would get holiday pay for that many hours.
So that is when we.
I mean, you still get your paid 40 hours.
Yeah, I think it's trying to balance the benefit for employees and that we are giving a little bit in that situation, right? Because it's, they're getting 9 hours Monday through Thursday, and then when it goes to Friday, instead of getting 4, they're getting 8, but they're also working, Monday.
Right,
through
because
Thursday.
now you're impacting the customer again. Because
We
it's
are,
not
yeah.
consistent. Now you got them working 8 hours a day versus being open at 7:30 till 5.
Yeah, and that really happens like 2 out of every 4 or 5 years.
Right, that's why not just keep it consistent, and the hours that you work are the hours you get paid.
Well, it's kind of like the PD with the clock going ahead and falling behind. They don't get an extra hour of pay, and they don't get one less hour of pay. It's just a wash. And you don't always get the advantage because you have different
I never
off
thought of
groups.
that.
Yeah, so, and it's just like, that's the way it is, guys.
Well,
You
that's-
make out or you don't make out.
Then stick with 8. I mean,
I was
your
gonna say, why isn't it
standard
just a
8.
standard 8? Why 9? To me, we're
And have
paying
them-
extra. Why isn't it just 8 hours of holiday pay? Guess I'm trying to figure that, and I'm trying to think of how it pertains to even myself and my job, how that works. It's hard because I'm salaried, but
I can answer that. So our personnel policy right now says you get holiday pay, and it just says day, and then it lists out the holidays. So the past few years, we have changed the summer hours. We've tried providing, what we initially did was 8 hours holiday pay for all of our city hall employees, and then we had our DPW, or I should say DPW employees that worked 410s. It is more difficult for a DPW employee that's working with the equipment and setting up for the day, for them to flex their schedule and their holiday pay. So we didn't want to give them 8 hours and then say, make up your 2 hours the next 4 days, because they're working with the equipment and it's just harder to do as compared to a city hall employee that are working remotely or can, a little bit more flexibility. It's easier to make up that 1 hour throughout the week. So what we did was we gave DPW 10 hours holiday pay if they had 410 schedule, and then we moved to city hall employees, giving them 9 hours for Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day. So that's why we did it.
What if it falls on their day off?
So, what do you mean? Oh, yeah, so like,
If we work
let's say you work
410s.
410s, and I believe what they do is, let's say it's on, if you work Monday through Thursday, you'll take either like the Monday or Thursday will be your day off, and then the people that work like Tuesday through Friday, they'll take like the Tuesday or Friday off, something like that. So there's still overlap. Does that make sense?
Are they still getting paid if it's their day off? That's my question. So if I work 410s,
They take it, they'll observe it on a different day.
okay.
So you'll still get the same amount of holiday pay, but you might end up having 2 days off because you work 410s, but you only get paid for 1 day. I get what you're saying. Yeah. So if your schedule is Tuesday through Friday, but it falls on a Monday, you'll observe it one of those days during the week, Tuesday through Friday.
So they would work 3 days that week and still get the holiday pay.
Yep. That's right. And then-
So,
So we're
for
not,
the Independence Day is always in the summer when we had summer hours.
Yep.
Were employees paid 9 hours or 8 hours for that day before this change?
They were paid 9 hours, if it fall, I think it's the last 2 years, I believe, if it was a Monday through Thursday. And I believe we did have one that fell on a Friday, and we switched from 8 to 4:30 for those. And like DPW and anyone's working 410s were paid 10 hours holiday pay.
how does this affect us financially?
So from that, it would be, if we increase, so like I said, we've already increased our summer holidays to 9 hours. What it does is it impacts, you use less vacation potentially. And I think our city hall schedule, generally speaking, you would think people might be using less vacation because you have 4 hours you're working on Friday. But then again, you're also working 36. So our current schedule right now, if you take Friday off, you'll work 32 hours and take 8 hours of vacation pay. Now, this schedule, I foresee people working 36 hours and taking 4 hours off. So you're getting more work, but less vacations being used. That's what I anticipate. And then around the holidays, when we are switching to 8-hour holiday pay, people will still use 8 hours because they won't have that half-day Friday. There's a lot going on.
I know, I guess my point is, okay, if we move this and we have everybody off on Fridays, then the importance of staying open those hours Monday through Friday becomes even more critical. So just because it's a holiday week for the customer, they don't care. You
Yes,
still
so-
need to be open those hours.
So that's where July 4th is typically a holiday that everyone thinks you're off. That's why when it falls on a Friday or Saturday, we don't want to have it be where you have Thursday, you work a half day, and Thursday you work a half day, you have 4 hours off on Thursday afternoon, and then 4 hours off on Friday to have your 8-hour holiday. Does that make sense?
It gets
It's
messy.
Yeah, so if you think you get 8 hours holiday is what you're used to, if it falls on a Friday, you should take a half day Thursday and a half day off on Friday to be made whole. Most people in the summer, wherever you're working customer, if it's July 4th, you anticipate City Hall's gonna be closed. So
Right.
that's,
It's a holiday, isn't it?
yeah, that's what I mean. So that's why when it's on a Friday, we feel comfortable changing the schedule 8 to 4:30 Monday through Thursday and having 8 hours off on Friday.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one other part of the holiday schedule too, I want to mention, Right now, we have the Friday off before Easter, like Good Friday, we have that off. We have a half day for everyone.
Yeah.
We're proposing to remove that, so City Hall would work 4 hours on Friday in the morning, and then we would get 4 hours personal leave to be used whenever you want. I did receive a call from Mark Berglund, who suggested that it might be better to keep the Friday before Easter as a holiday, and City Hall would be closed for the whole Friday, and then the parks and DPW employees would get a half day. And that's kind of to your point, to the sense of, it's good to be open 5 days a week. So that's why we proposed it the way we did. But like Mark said, you know, those DPW park maintenance employees will be working a full day that Friday, but it's from, 7 to 2, 7 to 3, but they also get the 4 personal hours added as well. So I'm not really married to either one. I just think being open 5 days a week and having afternoon off makes more sense.
I agree.
Can I ask a question, because you kind of mentioned working from home? Do we, has it been considered that in the week of a holiday, so let's say holidays on whatever day, within that week, you cannot work from home any of those days, so that we have staff coverage, so people aren't also using it to their advantage? So if a holiday's on a Wednesday, they work from home Tuesday, and now we don't have coverage here 2 days, and people are kind of using it. Like, I just think it's important when we're already closed, that we have all hands on deck the other days.
Yeah, so that has not been considered or thought of, and how I would approach it and continue to approach it, and it's up to, your decisions, but I feel like every department is aware that you have to have someone here for coverage to provide adequate and, good service to the public. So if that's one person here or multiple people, depends on your department, you need to do that. So for me, I don't feel like I need to direct people or tell them you can't work remotely on a holiday week. It's more of, you need to have the amount of people here to serve the public. And if you have one person working or people working remotely once that week, so be it. But you have to make sure that you're providing coverage and service to the public. That's how we're approaching it right now.
Okay.
And I think you asked about remote work in an email to me. Typically what it is people are taking off or remote working about once a week. And it averages to about it's about 2.5 days every 2 weeks, which comes out to about less than 30% of the time people are remote working. That's what I'd say on average. So I'll give an example. Like in the summer, if your remote work day is Tuesday, but that's the week you're supposed to be in coverage for the Friday in the office, you'll remote work on Tuesday, you'll be in the office on Friday. The following week, you'll be remote Tuesday, and then remote Friday, you'll be home. That's like 2.5 days. That comes out to like less than 30% of the time. That is what most departments are doing.
Wow, that's pretty often. I know it's not really an agenda item, so we can't really talk on that too much. Question, I know we talked about this last time this came up, and I saw it on the slide show about after-hour phone numbers. Are you working to get us Alders? I know we talked about something like a printout, something that we can have as well, because
Yes.
we field calls all day and night.
Yeah, that pamphlet that's put together right now, we would update it with the new City Hall schedule, and we'll update it with after-hour
Okay.
numbers, and then also have a web page that really highlights our after-hour numbers.
Okay. Personally, I'm on board with this. I actually prefer this over, honestly, the flexibility of working from home, because I think a lot of industries are adapting to shorter hours on Friday, and I think we do need to keep up with our competitors, and we've seen a lot of people leave the city of Green Bay for another municipality, so it's not even leaving us for the private sector. I think the flexibility of hours for our contractors, the fact that we're open at 7:30 in the morning is huge. I myself work till 4. If I need something at City Hall, if I get stuck at work, I may not get here by 4:30, and I have to be to work by 8. So I know for my normal work hours, it's very hard for me, and I'm not an 8 to 5. I'm an 8 to 4, and that's difficult. So I personally like the extended hours, to be honest with you. And yeah, if it keeps employees happy, I'm definitely on board with this.
The only thing that really concerns me now is the payment of, just to make sure that that's not cost, as long as it's cost neutral,
Yeah.
I agree.
that's the only thing, so.
With the holiday pay? you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the holiday pay and the 9 hours versus whatever, we just need to make sure that that's a wash,
Yeah.
and that we don't end up paying more. And I think our employees would understand that.
At some point, you could ask, maybe next year, make a note to yourself to ask for Joe to put together the numbers after 1 year and see where it is. Is it cost neutral, or is it one way or the other, and we can move forward from there. Proof will be in the pudding then, instead of just us trying to guess.
Yep.
But yeah, they could run the numbers, I think, and give us a report. I'll entertain a motion.
Sorry, one last question.
Sure.
Request for service on the weekends. As of right now, how is that monitored? Does it get reviewed over the weekends, or is it more Monday?
I want to say it's
Is that by
more,
department?
I want to say it's more on Monday.
Okay.
But I don't know based upon the type of service requested.
Right.
Like those kind of emergent, non-emergent ones. I would have to get back to you on that. I'm assuming if it's like a tree down in the middle of the street, I think that's being monitored to.
Well, quite frankly, someone could call the non-emergency
Yeah, that's
line.
what-
That's probably a
Right.
different avenue they're gonna take. So that's where I was thinking.
I'm gonna
they're-
bet weeds and garbage cans
That's
out
a
and
Monday,
stuff
yeah,
like that is
right.
gonna be a Monday.
Monday, yep. And I think that's what most people are utilizing for that. I just wanted to make sure, again, how that's monitored right now, just for clarification. Okay. Then, sorry, yep, motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Anyone have any questions on routine personnel actions? Okay, our next meeting is December 10th. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That passes unanimously, and we are adjourned.
Nice job, Joe.
Cheryl
Thank you.
and Mr. Buck, could I just have a minute?